The Bayeux Tapestry is coming to the UK, and French President Macron joked that agreeing this had taken longer than agreeing Brexit. Now, as a curator, I do not find that remotely surprising. This kind of loan takes forever to sort out. Years ago, I watched Night Museum 3 with a curator colleague, and we found it completely fine that things come alive at night, that the British Museum might have a dinosaur skeleton in it. An Egyptian mummy would be loaned from an American to a British institution in 24 hours on the basis of one phone call and no paperwork. That's the thing that we can't accept. I'm in the middle of organising loan at the moment of a relatively small number of archaeological pieces. These are not high value, these broken pieces of glass and floor tile. We're a year and a half in, and the exhibition is not happening for another 9 months. Even a really simple loan will generally take, as a minimum, 3 to 6 months. So the idea that this internationally famous object could move across borders in less than the 7 years that it has taken to agree would be quite fantastic to me. That's the comparison. 7 years for this, 4 years for Brexit. Macron was absolutely right. Why would that be? Well, the initial problem with the loan back in 2018 was concerns about the safety of the tapestry in transit. Can you imagine trying to pack and transport a textile embroidery of that size that is nearly 1,000 years old? If you've ever held fabric items, pieces of clothing from the Victorian period, 100, 150 plus years ago, then you might be familiar with how brittle textiles can become over time. So scale that up and you can imagine what the Conservatives are going to be dealing with here. Beyond that, there will have been so many things that need to be agreed, particularly in terms of what the display is going to look like, what kind of cases is it in, what environmental controls do they have, what's the humidity going to be, what's the lighting levels, are you going to make sure that there's no possibility that the public can jostle those cases and cause vibrations, how are they going to be mounted so that they don't cause damage simply by being on display? And then you've got the security side of things. What happens in the case of a fire? Do you have emergency plans? All of this kind of stuff is going to have had to be negotiated before anyone is signing a loan agreement. And that's before, actually, we get into the really big stuff, which is the fact that you're transporting an object of this importance across international borders. It really boggles the mind. I think it's amazing that it's going to happen. I love the fact that we're loaning some of our objects, our culturally significant items, back to the French in terms of the Saturn Who pieces. I'm really looking forward and excited to seeing what these 2 exhibitions are going to be when they open next year. It's lovely.